Hello. I'm very excited because my last name is Abraham, so that's cool. So, I've been creating for about 5 years, and I've created to a point where sorry, I'm so nervous. I think to myself, who am I to have this? Who am I to deserve all this?
Well, you're right. You are thinking that to yourself because your inner being would never think that to yourself. So that's a lackful, disconnected moment. Stop it.
Okay.
But again, it's that relationship that we were just talking about, isn't it? When you allow yourself to receive your natural expansion in a world where people mostly aren't doing that consciously, you do kind of stick out a little bit. And so then you ask yourself, am I deserving of this? But the question itself indicates that there is still some misunderstanding going on, isn't there?
Yes. So what do I do about that? Misunderstand. I understand, but I don't know how to.
Here's the way we would look at this. We've been saying this for a long time, that words don't teach. It's only life experience that gives you any real understanding. And sometimes words are helpful because they resonate or provide a little broader scope for what you're already sensing. But it's really life experience that gives you your true knowing. So we come in an environment like this and we tell you about the laws as we know them to be, and we explain to you your relationship with who you really are and your relationship with us, and give you a verbal explanation. But just because we're saying it doesn't mean that you're getting it. In fact, usually doesn't, because words don't teach. And so the way someone actually comes to own or know their true worthiness or deservability goes like this. So as we've already talked about, life just naturally produces the more factor, and source energy and all that is provide the cooperative components, and law of attraction gathers them, and there's this gestation of who you have already vibrationally become. But let's say it's unknown to you and you sense it, but you don't really know it, and you hope it, but you don't really know it, and you want it, but you don't always believe it. And so you're kind of in that place where sometimes you feel better about it than others. But now you are meditating every day, and you are really allowing your vibration to rise to the equivalency of who you really are. So you're often in the receiving mode, and coming out of meditation, you receive an impulse or a thought, a really satisfying one when it comes. So satisfying that you want to move forward on it. And so you follow the impulse, and it leads to something really wonderful. And because there's no contradiction in that vibration, from your vibrational stance to the natural unfolding, there's a feeling of deserving that comes with that, because there's a recognition within you that you accomplished that. Your life helped you to sort it out, and whether you know about your inner being or not, it's not so important, but you managed to let your vibration rise because you weren't doing that thing you sometimes do that doesn't let it. And so you're in the receiving mode, and you received and you followed through, and bam, you got it. And now you understand. There's a feeling of satisfaction that can only come from understanding your part in that. Just because your inner being adores you, and it does, and just because your inner being knows your worthiness, and does, and just because you've created all kinds of wonderful things for yourself that are in the process of becoming, and you have, doesn't mean that you're letting it in. But when you do let it in on purpose, and you do acknowledge, you understand the relationship between what you did and how you felt and what thought came and what came next, you'll own that. It won't just be words that somebody else is saying about somebody else. You will feel your part in that, and only in that way is where that worthiness comes from. Because some nice person could bestow all kinds of wonderful things on you. In fact, the more others do for you, usually the less important you feel to yourself. Because when others do for you, the message that you sometimes translate out of that is, Oh, I give this to you because I see you cannot do it for yourself. And so all the well-meaning service that others are doing doesn't do anything about your worthiness. The only thing that does something about your sense of worthiness and your sense of autonomy and your sense of placement in the world is you getting in here and understanding it and applying it and accomplishing it and letting the laws of the universe work for you, working in concert with these laws and knowing that you did it, you vibed it out, you felt your way to it. That's where it comes from, you see. And then you move very quickly from a renewed discovery of your own worthiness to invincibility. You look obnoxious to others because you're just very sure of yourself. You don't worry about the timing about anything, all in good time. You're not trying to push the noodle. You're not trying to make anything happen. You know it's in the vortex. You know it's inevitable. You know it's going to come out and play with you. You know that if this time-space reality has the wherewithal to establish a desire within you, that this same time-space reality has the wherewithal to deliver the goods. All you got to do is line up. You got that.
Thank you.
You got that. You got that. You got that. Really good.
Thank you.
Really good. Do you meditate sometimes? Do you understand the power of it? Coming to, aren't you? It's becoming a sort of household word, but most people are still not getting what it is and why it matters.
My heart's beating so fast I can't speak. I just want to see you. That's one thing. And
Today feeling pretty good to you?
oh my God, it's amazing. I'll take like 10 seconds. Hold on. It's amazing. It's great. Like I found Abraham just about a year ago. Actually, tomorrow it's going to be a year. So things been great. Things are perfect.
Do you know what you like most of all? Of all the things, you like clarity, because you are someone who considers deliberately, looks for solutions, and knows them when you find them. That's why you're feeling satisfaction here today. So what leading edge, what new thing burst into your mind as you were sitting here this morning?
Thanks for asking. You know, I honestly, I don't have a problem.
We know. We don't either. That makes us good together.
Like I said, I found you a year ago, but so things are perfect right now. So I came to this place over a thought which crossed my mind about 5 years ago. I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just say, okay, we
Okay.
can just leave after.
Yeah.
I thought that this is how everything started. So I thought that everything is connected.
Yes.
I started seeing that it happened like an epiphany, I don't know if I'm using the correct English word, like a realization. I thought,
Epiphany, but that's what we're talking about. When you get in that receiving mode and things occur to you, that's what that is. That's what that is.
I just wanted to ask from Abraham, why do I think this thought is so, why did I think, and even to this day, I think this thing, let me say, okay, I thought everything's connected to me, like everything in the universe is connected.
Because it is.
Yeah, so it's very clear. I see the reactions. So anyway, the next thing I want to do.
So let's talk about everything in the universe. And then let's talk about law of attraction and the response that law of attraction has to everything in the universe. Then we can talk about the connection of everything in the universe. Yes? What we're most interested in is, so as you were sitting there, of course, you have these moments in time and these connected moments when your inner being is actually standing right with you, flowing thoughts right with you. And what we're interested in hearing from you, if you know it, is what new thought burst into your mind since you've been in this room here today? Because every day more of that connection happens. What you want to call the starting point of that explosion in your mind 5 years ago is continuing in every moment, every moment, every moment, every moment, every moment.
Every second.
Yeah. And the satisfaction of it is getting a piece of it, a comprehensible piece of it, to chew on just a little bit. And that's where that feeling of clarity comes, that satisfying feeling of your hands in the clay of the creation of your own experience. Yes. And so
now the next thing I want to do, like the endeavor or whatever the work I want to do next, because I think I have the right amount of money. I feel, I mean, whatever I have, I'm really happy with whatever I have. It's just the thing I want to do next. It's
well, do you believe that through the life that you've lived this time and others, the whole of you that came forth into this physical body, do you believe that as you put pieces of perception and pieces of desire into your vortex and they have begun to cooperate with each other, do you believe that they have become something that you might not even be able to describe? These aren't perfect words, but the sum total of what you've put there is actually more significant and more intricate and more magnificent than you could describe, because law of attraction has gathered cooperative components to it, and it has become more than even the individual pieces that you put there. Does that make sense to you? For years, Esther wondered this question. She said, Abraham, you said that we create our own reality, and then you also say that life will continue to surprise and delight me. And if I create my own reality, why am I ever surprised? Didn't I put it there, and shouldn't I recognize it when it comes out to play with me? And we say, but since you are all connected to everything and you are putting the components, and then law of attraction is gathering them, now it has become this more surprisable and more delightful creation than in any point in time you could describe. But when you get into that receiving mode so that you can comprehend it, this is making sense to you? Then the surprise and the delight and the clarity and the fun of then taking it further and further and further.
so I'm not crazy. So just
No,
quick,
you are crazy.
I thought I was crazy until before I found you.
But that's how humans that don't know about alignment and continuity and law of attraction and guidance system, that's how they describe people that aren't just focused upon what is only. The world that is sane wants to face reality. And we don't want you to face reality, because when you face reality, you just regurgitate what is. We want you to create new realities.